And welcome back to our second hour of the show. This is the Dawn 98.6 I Radio. أنا تكون في جنوب السودان وده برنامج الدون صباح. خلصنا أول ساعة وإحنا بقينا في الساعة الثانية, in which I told you earlier on that we are going to be having a guest as we welcome these to our special Peace Building Week 2026, the radio discussion Institutional Strengthening for Peace. This week the world marked the first ever Global Peace Building Week, commemorating 20 years of the UN Peace Building Commission and the UN Secretary General Peace Building Fund. In South Sudan, the occasion provides an opportunity to reflect on country's peace journey and the role of strong institutions in building lasting peace. From transitional justice and constitution making to development of the Women Empowerment Bill and the National Land Policy, several initiatives have thought the strengths governance, promote inclusion and address the root cause of conflict. Today we are discussing how stronger, more accountability institution can help sustain peace, reconciliation and stability in South Sudan. Joining us that will be from Africa, from Active Women Arise Africa, Martha Nyakek, and as well we do have from Vision for Humanity South Sudan, Miss Judith, that will be here to talk to us more. But of course we need to welcome them this very morning. A very good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning to both of you. How are you guys?
Fine, thank you.
Okay, you can just come close. Yes. All right. You guys are both welcome to the program. You can just go and introduce yourself, then we can direct ourselves in.
Thank you very much for asking.
You can just use the mic. Yes. You can use this mic.
Okay, thank you, dear listeners. My name is Judith Agang. I'm the Executive Director of Vision for Humanity South Sudan. Very happy to be here with you.
Okay, then you can take this mic. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning, listeners. Thank you for hosting us this morning. iRadio. My name is Martha Nyakek, working for Active Women Arise Africa as the program coordinator, but currently the acting executive director.
Okay. When you mention about this day in a specific, or the whole week in a specific, what does it mean to both of you, as we're also going to be diving in what we're going to be talking about today?
When we are talking about Peace Building Week, it means that peace is the most important part of life that every citizen in every country needs, from the national government to the grassroots level, to the youth, to the women, to the children, and everybody else. Peace means that we are living in harmony together. It means that we are coming in one strong voice to advocate for our rights. It means that we are accessing schools without us being intimidated by insecurity issues. So to me, peace is everything, and from the civil society organization, it's very critical, because we are working with the communities and ensuring that we are promoting peaceful dialogues within the communities to make sure that we are addressing the root causes of violence, which are the communal violence within the community. So this is very critical for us.
Okay, that's from Martha. Judith?
Yes, I think for me to add on that, this entire week to me is an opportunity to reflect on the type of South Sudan we want, the kind of peace we want in South Sudan, and also to individually evaluate ourselves for the past 15 years. What have we done to see that we see the fruits of this country and we enjoy the benefits of being the citizens of this country, not just as civil society, but people that take into account our respective responsibility in upholding peace in the country. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, and welcome again to the Dawn Show, this very program. And when it comes to perspective of the peace building, what lesson has South Sudan learned since the signing of the peace agreement till days, as South Sudan also is going to be at 15 in the next months to come?
Okay, I think I will pick up right from here. When you look at the lessons learned now, I think one big lesson I will talk about is that the signing of the peace agreement alone was not enough. Because after signing of the peace agreement, we can vividly say that there is silence of guns at national level. But this has not stopped the conflict at state level, at Payam level. We still see ethnic differences we see cattle raiding, we see different forms of revenge killing happening. So that means the biggest lesson here is that as different international bodies have fought for the ceasefire at a national level, there is now more efforts that needs to be drawn at community level in terms of community dialogue, in terms of engaging local chiefs in attaining peace at different states and counties of the and payams of the country. And also, I think another lesson is also understanding that inclusion was very much important in the peace signing process, or in the peace process. The peace process is not only for political elites. We have seen that it was very important to involve local chiefs, to involve the different youth leaders, the women groups, into fighting and equal efforts towards attaining peace, because these are the people that fight so hard in conflict resolutions at county levels, at PIAMS levels. So if there is silence of guns at national level, what effort can we do to make sure that this is also attained at county levels, at PIAM levels, at state level? So this is a lesson to the peace actors and to the whole of South Sudan, that the effort should not only be at Juba level, but there are broader communities that are still struggling to find peace within themselves.
Okay. To you, Martha, I wanted also you to highlight a little bit on how important is transitional justice in promoting healing, reconciliation, and lasting peace, because as South Sudanese, I feel like even till date, we are still going through a lot of trauma, we're still going through a lot of grief, and there is a lot of ups and downs here and there, but also you can highlight on that as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this wonderful question. I will start by defining what transitional justice means. This refers to judicial and non-judicial processes and mechanisms a society implements to address the massive human rights abuses, and also ensuring that there is accountability, serving the justice, and also ensuring that we achieve the reconciliation in our different communities. And that, from a peace building perspective, it is non-negotiable for the South Sudan to have that foundation and a lasting peace within the country. We must also look at the historical models that work, especially the case of the Gasasha courts in Rwanda, where there was a truly understanding of sustainable trauma healing that is deeply rooted into, truth-telling. This is very, very critical, and it is very important. That really helped, the Rwandese communities after, the massacre of 1994.
Sure.
This is something that South Sudanese need currently, having that space for trauma healing, sharing, those challenges, those wounds that people go through as a result of conflict, which is very, very important. Without formal space for victims to share their stories and for the truth to be laid bare, we just know that wounds would remain open, and the political sentiments remains fragile, especially within the country currently. And from the work that we do, we are engaging with different stakeholders, especially from the communities where we are working. We are bringing on board different community stakeholders into the community dialogues to ensure that community themselves come up with the local solutions on how certain communal violence could be addressed, especially things to do with the cattle raiding, things to do with conflict-related sexual violence, child abductions, and other harmful traditional practices. And a very practical example on how this has worked, it was through the peace building funds through UNDP that partners were supported with grants to engage the communities into different trauma, on mental health and psychosocial support programs, ensuring that we carry out trauma awareness programs to the communities to ensure that people that were affected by the conflict are brought together, dialogue, then come up with resolution as a community. So to me, it means that as South Sudan, we really needed the transitional justice, because it's very important for us to come together as a country, address our root cause of the conflict, and then live in harmony.
Okay. When it comes to such projects, of course, like how it's out of the context, but also someone want to know, like, okay, I think you can just add. You can add the microphone from down there.
Okay.
Yes. You can just add from there. It was reduced. Yes. So when it comes to us being in South Sudan, and since such projects have been implemented, how is the acceptance or the coming in of the people to such let me say the healing, the reconciliation? How was the acceptance from ground and the people that you people have reached, or even from the way you see it around?
Thank you very much. When we carried out community dialogues, communities, under one roof, express the kind of challenges the communities goes through. The differences that the different communities goes through was a pathway for, airing out those challenges, and then documenting how the resolutions on how those challenges could be addressed. And for us, it was very effective. And from the successful stories that we got from the community was that there were a lot of people that really benefited from the trauma awareness sessions, and also from one-on-one psychosocial support that were provided to the communities, and also engaging with the youth at the unauthorized checkpoints that through livelihood support had to abandon the unauthorized checkpoints and come now and participate in other vocational training activities, especially the bread makings, and then livelihood other program support that was very, very critical. That through these programs, it was very, very critical that healing, it's important and it is vital within the community and in our programming.
All right. Getting to you, Judith, as well. In what ways could you describe, or can you tell us more on the ordinary citizen contributing to the nation building and policy development? Because someone will be saying, as a citizen, with whatever that I have, you want me also to contribute to this. So there is a lot of misinterpretation, maybe, or maybe not. But also, how well could you tell us about this? You can also put the mic.
Okay, maybe before I respond to that question, can I add something later on the importance of transitional justice in promoting healing and reconciliation? First of all, I would like to really so much thank the team, the specialized committee on peace and reconciliation at the National Legislative Parliament that worked so much into seeing that the two bills out of the three mechanisms of the transitional justice were passed into law by the President, and also to thank the President for appending and approving this into law, which is the Commission for Truth, Reconciliation and Healing, and then the Compensation and Reparation Authority. And of course, as we await for the establishment of the Hybrid Court of South Sudan. So the importance of these two commissions, I would say the three commissions mechanisms, is that when we look at the truth-telling component of it to a survivor, when a survivor speaks out, it gives room for the survivor to heal. There is that silent, the pain that comes from silence. But then when they're given the space or the forum to air out their stories, to speak what they have undergone through the conflict, that's one step towards healing. They say a story shared is a source of healing. And then also it breaks the component of rumors, not understanding what exactly happened. Because when people live in anticipation of what actually the cause of conflict is, it builds up on more quest for revenge. So when people speak out the truth, the community gets to understand exactly what happens, and in turn reconciliation comes up. And then on accountability aspect of it, the Hybrid Court of South Sudan is actually, if it's established, it is meant to prosecute perpetrators of high criminal violence, or people that have participated in high human violations or violations of human rights. And so giving them the opportunity to face the court instead of mob justice reduces the intensity of more conflict in the country. If the perpetrators are left in the community to face mob justice, then it gives room for more revenge.
Especially the one for Toronto.
Exactly. So this conflict builds on. And then also, in terms of reparation, when survivors and victims are reparated for their lost properties or lost, let's say, for instance, the IDPs and the refugees, if with time they get repatriated back to their communities, they get back their land, or they get institution rebuilding, they will feel that they are not left out. At least they are remembered, and then somebody somewhere has recognized their pain as survivors. And also it gives a room for accountability and justice to the survivors. And then finally, the aspect of reconciliation also deters a single community from thinking that my people suffered. When two conflicting bodies come together, they get to understand what was the cause of the conflict, and instead of thinking my community suffered, the thinking now comes, we all suffered in this conflict, so what can we do towards building an everlasting peace? And of course, with a very functional institution, that is, we are hoping that the Commission for Truth, Healing and Reconciliation and the Compensation and Reparation Authority gets operationalized. Once they start their work, then there will be a rebuild trust in the legal system of the country. And as we look forward to the, of course, establishment of the hybrid court, which is still debatable. And now coming back to
the question.
The question that you asked me, you are talking about, could you come back?
The citizen contribution.
Yes. The citizens can actually contribute so much in the peace building process of the country. One is by supporting in the establishment of laws. I would say when the specialized committee were set out to draft these two laws, the CTRH and the CRA law, there were consultative meetings that were done both at national and state level. So such forums are where citizens and the local.
Sorry, one question. Was the consultation also went up to the ground, like to get all the information?
Yes. These consultations were done at state levels, not just only at national level. They went out to state levels to gather views from communities, from survivors, from local leaders, and those views were later incorporated even at border levels from the refugees. They also gathered information and their perspectives on these bills, and that's how this came into finalization. So I would say the local communities can also participate in this kind of forum so that their views become incorporated into the important laws that are being drafted in the country. And also they can support the local chiefs and local leaders in the communities in mitigating communal conflict, because there are strong these are the strong drivers to instigating or reducing conflict. And we also know in another aspect is the strong push towards hate speech is what creates violence sometimes in our country. So the communities can also participate by fighting against hate speech. On media, we have seen sometimes the media is being bombarded by different kind of hatred, communal hatred, and this now intensifies back within the community where people want to come back into revenge attack and all that. So communities can participate in such forum, and also they have a very key role in monitoring the progress of the peace agreement.
All right.
Yes.
All right. I think we're going to go for a very short break. Time is a little bit running, and we're left with 3 questions. But of course, after the very call, we are going to be receiving some calls here and there. Itakanaindo aye sual we do have here in the studio Martha Nyikag from Active Women Women Arise Africa. Judy's also came through from Vision for Humanity South Sudan, as this week is being celebrated for Peace Building Week, and it's part of the ready discussion that we are having in the institutional strengthening for peace. So we go for a break, and then after we're going to be picking some calls.
Attention, attention. The Ministry of Health, Republic of South Sudan, informs the public that an outbreak of Ebola virus disease has been confirmed in Ituri province in the Democratic Republic of Congo and in Uganda. States at high risk in South Sudan include Western Equatoria, Central Equatoria, Eastern Equatoria, and Jonglei. Ebola is a severe and often deadly disease that spreads through contact with infected persons, body fluids, contaminated objects, or sick and dead wild animals. Signs and symptoms include fever, severe weakness, headache, muscle and body pain, sore throat, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, skin rash, and sometimes bleeding from the gums or blood in stool. Protect yourself and your family by washing your hands regularly with soap and clean water. Avoid contact with sick persons, body fluids, and dead bodies. Do not touch sick or dead animals. There is currently no licensed vaccine or specific treatment for the Bundibujo strain of Ebola virus disease. If you or someone you know develops these symptoms, report immediately to the nearest health facility or call the toll-free number 6666 for assistance. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, World Health Organization, UNICEF, and partners.
Ben, where was you could pass? Short a milk pinyai. Pinyai no good second. Jaga to go, Katawana. But Guru Wall, Mishi Point to fall. Fall fine go along. Dear like a fall fine do. A lot of men don't care. A Muktabi Cow Pew, Kajin Sudan. A tenant let a quick jump. Near Africa, can show you Africa. Kalumi Bay was to away Yoni, we morning.
ورجعنا لكم تاني من فاصل إعلاني ده. ولو إذا عندك أي سؤال أو برضو you have an opinion you want to know from our guest, you can definitely give us a call on 0922-986-986 or 0911-986-986 as we are celebrating this week as Peace Building Week, and today's discussion we're highlighting on institutional strengthening for peace as well. And as the conversation continues, also if you have any comment, Lena Salben and Nafogo Facebook, you can also drop some of your question hinaka. Nimshi le suala tani au the next question that we will love also to highlight on. Do communities feel adequately represented in the national decision making process? Because I feel many people lost a little bit hope on them being involved in any constitution decision. Well, Arab when they feel like they're just looking at us, we're just mere citizen, and they lost hope. But to both of you, do you guys think communities really feel they're represented in the national decision making?
Thank you very much. This is a very critical question, and we cannot conclusively say that it's a yes or it's a no. Because we've been seeing a lot of gap. There's a wide gap between the national and the local level at the different levels of governance we are in as a country right now. Looking at the 2010 election that was done a few years ago, today we are celebrating 15 years in 2026, which means South Sudan is already in its adolescent stage, which is very good for us.
Yes.
So if you look at the representation, we have our parliamentarians. And if you ask yourself, do the parliamentarians go back to their constituencies, sit with the communities and ask the opinion of the communities on how the community development funds has been used? To me, I think it's something that is a gap, because there are if there are MPs that have maybe been going to their constituencies, they may be very, very few and not many. So to me, there is that gap that we have witnessed. Second to that is that the political participation.
Yes.
Currently, through the support from the international partners, especially UNDP, with the support from Peace Building Fund, we are engaging with different communities of women into different political participation, where we are ensuring that women participate in the decision-making processes, ensuring that we have their voices included into the different policies that are being made. And currently, my colleague just mentioned about some of the, policies that have already been passed. Already, we are into consultation stage and advocacy, processes, where we are looking into if these policies that are pending should be enacted, the anti-GBV bill, the family law bill, then the women empowerment bill, and also the gender equality bill. We are into this kind of consultations with different stakeholders to ensure that their voices are included, and then with one strong voice, we knock at the doors of the concerned ministries that are supposed to push this. So to me, there is that, I would say partially, yes, of course, there is inclusion of community in these consultations, and we are making sure that we are working with the communities. So the last point I will add to that is that, our country currently, the percentage of the youth is 73%. And all the challenges that we are facing currently are on the youth, where we have our youth that are very idle, and then they find themselves into the criminal activities. That this shows us that there is a gap, because these people are not being engaged, and they're not being given those pathways for them to tap into the opportunities they're supposed to, to be in, and so that they can work and also live like another person. That's why now in South Sudan we have so many of our youth going for the desperate journeys. Some of them are drowning in that side of Libya, in search for better lives. So this means that there's a gap on the community inclusion into the different programmings, and also not giving them the space for them, to tap into the different, opportunities that are available. Of course, this is a young country, and by the look of things, we really have a lot of natural resources, and we have a lot of opportunities that if people are given, that peace that they want, you would be anywhere, to find what can sustain you and your family through livelihoods and every other, opportunity that you may come across on. So.
All right. To you, Judy, is also a representation of the women. We cried for 35%. Even there's an event when they say they wanted now 50%. But even they say, even if they want 50%, the 35% is not seen on ground. But coming back to my question, what role do you think should women and youth play in strengthening institution and promoting peace? Because she mentioned already the youth are 73% population. The given seating for women in all institutions, wherever they have been given 35%, wherever they are going to be working at. So what do you think could be both of those groups a role in promoting peace?
Thank you for yet that question and coming directly to me as a woman. I would say when we look at even the impact of the conflict, the 2013 and 2016 conflict, and even the communal conflicts that are still occurring, women have faced a very unique kind of impact of this conflict. When you talk about from the displacement part of it, how they have to start life up again, the sexual gender violence that comes, women's body are being used as an attack to the community, and all this trauma sink very deep. And so involving women in peace building effort gives a very unique way of approaches. One is that women are very strong peace mediators. So if we engage women in the processes of peace building, chances are high that attaining peace is very easy because they understand what impact of conflict has had on them. And then on another point is also women more of like watchdogs to what is happening. I would give an example. Still, I'm very passionate about the transitional justice, because when you look at the peace agreement, I think the chapter 5 of talking about transitional justice has created a very bigger milestone in achieving what it's supposed to be, and we really still want to thank the UN Peace Building, UNDP, and the different actors that have injected in their resources to see that this comes into light. During the drafting of these laws, women pushed for the inclusion of matters to address sexual violence and human rights within and property rights within the bill. And this is because they are watchdogs and they're very concerned about the accountability of every law that is being enacted. And beyond just that, women are trusted with resources, and the services that they deliver do not go unseen. So when you're talking about corruption, when you're talking about different aspects of misuse of funds, even if they're hearsays, but women are always ranked to be very diligent in the way they serve their process. And of course, when we talk about the youth, these are key drivers of changes in the community. So when we involve them, like my colleague has said, she mentioned the percentage. These are the biggest percentage of the population in the country. So involving them in these processes opens doors for better peace.
Let me pick one call, then we continue with the last one. Are you ready? Good morning. Hey, go for the best ready. Take it عشان أضيف أي كمان بقدر أسمعك كويس.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I ready.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Yes. My name is Diko Power.
Domono?
My name is Musa.
Musa?
Yes.
Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling Jebel.
Jebel, you're welcome. You have any question for our guest?
Yes, I have a question from the guys. I talking about the law, and it is good today. He is coming to visit to telling us before today. So I'm talking about DP. I'm talking DP because there is a problem in law in section 274 about the revenue. You see, there is many people, they have been arrested now, they are now in prison because of that section. When this section, it is good to be drafting again and to be discussing, because they're writing that one is a rape case, and the rape case, there is another case that it is not a risk, it is not underage, but when the man went there and took the girl, and that girl is also is a mature 22 or 28. So the family, they went there, they opened the case in police stations under 274, which is in Arabic is calling Mitel Tamarvin, when the people, I want the people to be understand that one. So there is a lot of the people, they are now arresting there in prison. But this one is a violation of the rule. Because you want to be the that one. There is, the lady has been raped by force. And this one also, there is a difference in rape and the...
Okay, I think we understood you. We have understood you.
The girl has even her the wife. But now the people here in Cuba or in South Sudan, they use that section to force the men or to arrest those ones.
All right.
It is good when our lawyer one of the means of objection.
All right, we don't have time, but they're going to be responding to that of people in Juba using section 247 for the rape case. Masalan bidda bukun above 18. An example he gave, bidda kanit neno 20 sana, and even she wasn't raped, but the family went and opened a case that the girl was raped, and she was even above that very age. Like the misuse of such articles in laws, how can it be helped in such manner as well? Ayrede, good morning.
Good morning, Ayrede.
Aha, Fadal.
Shukran, sabah al-khair.
Sabah an-nur. Isim takita dugul lana min wen?
Ustaz Lazaro min Madina Wow.
Lazaro min Wow. Sual taki bikun shunu?
سؤال بتاعي مثلا في مشكلة في underage وفي rape case. طبعا بيكون في مشوار قال and relative can go and open a case down the road.
I think that's the same question.
نمرة 2 بعد مرات بيكون مشوار and still في underage.
Okay.
لأنه the time it to be a case when there is no marriage. الكلام ده قانون يكون serious في settling of this problem.
خلاص it's okay. في سؤال تاني؟
في مشاكل كثيرة. سؤال ثاني قانون يكون قوي. أنا فعليا في لعبة في قانون.
alright شكرا لك. I radio?
ديكو دي.
أيوة good morning.
أستاذ مجوب يا نا.
تفضل توالي أستاذ مجوب.
السلام للضيوف بتاعك في الاستوديو. ديكو دي أنا بس عندي سؤال لضيوفك. أنا هسه أنا ملاحظ إنه المنظمات الكثيرة بيتم peace بيتم empower women peace building يعني كأنه اسم السلام ده بقى يابسة يعني بقى يابسة لأي منظمة بس بلسك فوق اسم السلام ده في أي حاجة لكن هذا أنا وتدري في implementation ما في حاجة في أرض الواقع حتى النسوان في يعني في البومات في قيامات في كاونتي ما يعني ما عندهم مساهمة ما عندهم دور ما قاعد يعمل شوية الكلام ده قاعد يتم كيف جوجل مرة قاعد يتكلم فوق ده كم في المية وكم في المية ده كم في المية ده بس في جوبا هنا ولا كم في المية ده في جنوب السودان كله فأنا بشوف إنه يعني الكلام ده ما قاعد يجيب يعني نتيجة.
سؤال بتاعك شنو؟ سؤال
السؤال ليه الناس بكتر اسم منظمات باسم سلام داير نشجع نسوان ليه؟
alright ده ما موضوع أنا ما بقدر أجاوب فوقه لكن شكرا لك. I radio good morning.
ديكو دي.
أيوة good morning.
ديفيد مبروك from Wow.
تفضل توالي ديفيد سؤال بتاعك شنو؟
My question is about the peace building going direct to remote areas. You know, all the programs are now conducted in Juba, and you know South Sudan is not Juba. When will you people come down to inform the people in the villages, especially the youth? The percentages that people are talking about the youth are now in the remote areas or in the 10 state and 3 administrative areas, including the women. People are not informed. When will you come down? You are now in a very far place. Come closer to where we are so that we get the information, especially where the place where there are no radios, where there are no newspapers, when there are no TVs.
All right, shukran letter.
Close to get the information.
All right, thank you. Also, last there is a message here from Eliza. Eliza is saying that Eliza is saying that when will the family bill being passed, or we even don't know if it's being passed because our young sisters are being given for marriage, yet we claim that the chief are being talked to, awareness have been made, but yet we see on TikTok that ladies are being given to older men on a daily weekend or every weekend. That's from Eliza.
Okay. So we respond to the question?
Yes. We have 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, our listeners, for a very wonderful questions you asked. I will start with the 274 is said. Is it section 274?
Yeah, 274.
274 that is said. I will say this. I know for South Sudanese it's always very hard to hear this.
Yes.
And GBV doesn't respect any age. GBV, it affects everybody. regardless of their age, regardless of their sex, regardless, of their religion. Whether you are a 90 years old woman, when you are raped, it's a rape case. And that one should be reported to the police station, and the perpetrator must be arrested. If it's defilement case, of course we know what it takes for you to be held accountable for the injustice that you've done. So for us to understand GBV, it's a harmful act inflicting on another person against their will. So as the community, we must know that there's no forgiveness for somebody who has committed a GBV against another person. It doesn't matter what age that person is. So this is something that I must make our listeners hear. For the peace building organizations, of course, these different organizations have different names, not necessarily peace building.
Yes.
And most of these programs are not being done in Juba. Of course, most of these programs are done in the grassroots level, especially the programs that we done with UNDP last year, and also this year we are doing them with the communities, and we are going deep to the community level, the Payam level, and also the Boma level. We are not just in Juba. In Juba. And yes, the last question is about the family law bill. I mentioned earlier about the 4 pending bills currently that we are doing a lot of advocacies on, where we are bringing different stakeholders on board, ensuring that these things are tabled in the parliament so that they are passed.
All right.
It's a journey, and we are working on that together with the different line ministries, especially the Minister of Gender, Child and Social Welfare, plus our international partners that are supporting us in ensuring that these bills are enacted.
All right, Judith, you can just give us a very quick one on the age. People are misusing that very article. I don't know, also from your side of view, what could be done and how they could tackle it, because many people are using that. For instance, if the girl got pregnant or she was caught in a moment, the family will claim that she's not she's underage, and they use that very section to arrest the man and put them for prison.
Yeah, I think my colleague has responded very clearly on that point, because the argument was more on rape. If it comes to a case of rape, then there is no controversy on what age bracket is. But when it comes to defilement, then this is where we know there are instances where people even go and fake birth certificates just to claim that the child is below the age.
All right.
This is something that really needs to be handled, and in the next show maybe we'll get expertise that will come and talk to our listeners specifically on this.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Looking ahead, what should be the top peace building priorities for South Sudan as we are finalizing the show today?
Thank you very much. To me, I would go with 4 points. One,
30 seconds, because we have 1 minute left.
1 minute left.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
The most important thing that we need as a country right now is social cohesion and national identity, where South Sudanese need to understand who they are, what they are, and what do they need for this country to go further. Because now, if you come and ask me right now, you have a fellow South Sudanese, where are you from? Instead of them saying I am a South Sudanese, I'm from Ton.
And by the way, I faced it yesterday and I felt like, oh my God, like why?
Of course. To me, I think there is need for national identity as a country. Just like when Tanzania got their independence, they sat, through their president Nyerere, and then they define a name for them, which is Ujuma. Also, they come up with their national language, which is Kiswahili. So as South Sudan, I think it's something that we really need. We need that national identity as a country. Second to that, we need a locally owned national reconciliation. And a reconciliation that does not, only focuses at the national level. We must go back to the grassroots level, bring everybody into this reconciliation processes, especially the community leaders, the religious leaders, the youth. Everybody needs to be included into this reconciliation as the community. And also we must also ensure that we restore the functionality of our chiefs and the local traditional leaders. Thank you.
Okay, she has already talked about engaging the community
Time is great.
Because, yes, I think another thing is also the strengthening local security. Right now we are talking about elections that are going to come, but then there will be no peaceful election if polling stations are under threat, people are not feeling safe to go and vote. The commissions for truth is underway, to be established. Survivors will not testify if there is still issues of insecurity. But then most importantly also, I think peace building efforts should be driven towards economic and livelihood strengthening, because the biggest security we have now is the economic situation, which is very dire. People are fighting to survive.
All right, thank you so
In
much.
brief, that's much I can
All
say.
right.
Thank you.
Judith Mata, thank you so much for coming by, and a happy peace building week. For the rest of you, have a very blessed day. And to the listeners, this has been another talk show on The Dawn. Till next week, we'll be meeting. But of course, this conversation will not stop here, but it's going to be continued towards the day. On behalf of the Dawn Show team, my name is Diko Andrew. Have a very blessed day.